Ah. You came at last. Glad to see that you decided to lend me your aid, Joseph. Oh, and I see you decided to bring along a friend.
This is Ted Harrison. He's my best friend.
Say. Isn't Ted crossed?
Huh? How do you know that?
My daughter told me. She also told me that you're close friends with Roy Baxter, the Lantive who got his heritage revealed several months ago.
What? Your daughter?
Yes, you've met her before.
I have.
Hey boys, did you miss me?
Oh,
Erhova.
Hey, I remember you.
You're that crossed lady Joseph and I encountered at the Vyond months ago.
Long time no see to you guys as well.
Perfect timing, Emma.
What? Was there any doubt that I would not come back in one piece, Mother?
Mother?
Mother.
Yes, you heard that correctly out of Miss Sassy Mouth here. Emma is my adopted daughter, and also my intelligence agent.
An intelligence agent?
That explains why we're even here in the first place.
You got that right there, bucko.
During the events of the countrywide riots, I sent Emma to Vyond City, and as her job title implies, gather intelligence on this mech-suited terrorist.
Pardon my interruption. Let me ask you this, Sadie. How do you know my father and me? And just what is it that you could possibly need my help for?
Right. It's time that we get into that. Alright then, to answer your first question, Joseph, regarding your father Ryder, allow me to take you back in time. 25 years ago. At the time during my father's presidency, I was in college, was in a university that was closest to the White House, studying to become a politician. You see, politics run deep in my family. And I wanted to become one, much like my father. During my weekends, I would often come to the White House, to visit my father, or for him to help with my studies. Hello, Dad.
Sadie, there's my little girl. Hang on, I'm coming. Sadie, how are you doing, sweetie? How are those finals coming along?
They're coming along just fine, Dad. Just thought I'd take a break from studying and come and visit you.
That's good to hear, sweetie. It's always great to see my little girl when I'm having to deal with all this segregation nonsense non-stop.
Hey, don't forget about me, Sadie. Don't I deserve a hug too?
Oh, of course, Ryder. I was just about to get to you next.
Well, good. I was beginning to think that I was gonna get left out.
Oh, Ryder. Like I would ever forget about you. You're like family to me.
That makes me happy to hear you say, Sadie. 'Cause both you and your father are also like family to me, as much as my own wife, son, and best friend back home.
Your father used to work directly for my father. He was his personal bodyguard. So with visiting me my father so often, also meant that I got to interact with your father a lot as well. He and I grew to become very good friends with one another, and it was also on that particular day, was when I got to meet a little someone.
Oh, and speaking of family, Sadie, there is someone that I want you to meet.
Huh. There's someone else in this room?
Yes. I believe the little one was hiding underneath my desk when Sadie entered the room.
Let me try to get him to come out so that Sadie can meet him. Hey, buddy, can you come out? There's someone else whom I want you to meet. Come on, buddy, you can do it. Sadie, allow me to introduce you to my son. This is Joseph.
Oh, my goodness. Ryder, it's like I'm looking at a little you.
Yep, he's the spitting image of his father.
Go up and say hi, buddy.
But, Daddy, I'm scared.
Don't worry, Joseph, that bright young lady is a good friend of mine. She won't bite, I promise.
Hello.
Why hello there, darling. So, you're Joseph.
Yes. My name is Joseph Bailey.
It's great to meet you, Joseph Bailey. I'm Sadie Jillson. And I assume you've already met that man over there, didn't you, sweetie? That man over there is my father, and also the president.
He's your daddy, and the president?
That is right, Joseph.
Does that mean that you're gonna be president too someday?
Well, who knows? Maybe I will someday. I'm currently in college studying politics, so that someday I can become one much like my own dad.
Does that mean if you do become president, you'll stop all those Tatars and Lantas from fighting each other?
Ha 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 ha. Well, if I ever do become president, that'll definitely be my goal, dearie.
Well, I'll be. He too also wants to rid this world of its segregation, just like the three of us and the royals.
Say, Joseph, what do you want to be when you grow up?
I wanted to be a superior police officer, just like my daddy is.
Oh, is that so? You're quite ambitious.
I want to fight bad guys, and save the world, and to also be there for any Lantas that are in trouble and in need of saving.
Ha 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 ha. I gotta give it to you, my boy, you're quite the ambitious believer.
My boy sure is.
And I say, with a steadfast attitude such as yours, Joseph, you probably will have what it takes to become a great superior police officer, much like your daddy here.
Heck, perhaps when he's older, and if you ever become president, Joseph can be your personal bodyguard, Sadie.
If I ever do, perhaps I'll consider that notion, if he's worthy. He is your son, and with how strong he wears his confidence, I think he'll be every bit your equal rider.
If you even ask me, I think he'll even surpass.
I can say the same thing to you, young lady.
Pardon me, Dad.
I have great confidence in you too, that if you ever do become president, you'll be equal, if not a better president than your old man is.
You really believe so, Dad?
I truly do believe, sweetie. With how hard you work, and with your dedication, I think you'll accomplish many great things that will benefit not only the country, but for the rest of the world also.
Dad. I love you, you know that.
I love you too, baby girl.
Wow. I'm in complete and utter shock. That explains how you know my father, and me. My mind is totally blown.
I had a feeling you wouldn't have remembered any of it. You were so young when I first met you. Getting to meet you again, Joseph, after all these years, and you looking exactly like your dad, brings me back fond memories of both him and my dad.
Alright, that answers the question on how you know my father. So my next question to you is, what could you possibly need my help with? You here to finally give me that personal bodyguard job that you said you would consider when I got older?
Right, I was getting to that part. Let's finally get down to business and explain the situation, and why I've summoned you here to begin with. Like I said before you came here, Joseph, there is something evil brewing here within our government.
Something evil, huh?
Like a conspiracy?
Right, Ted?
There's a conspiracy going on, you say, huh? So who's conjuring up some kind of conspiracy?
The ones who are responsible for the conspiracy is none other than the U.S. Senate, being led by the head senator, Seth Walker.
So, the Senate is the enemy here.
Yeah, those sleazy and snooty senators have been reported doing all sorts of shady activity for a long while now.
And I assume that Emma here is the one delivering you on these reports of their shady acts?
Precisely. I don't know the full details, but from what I have gathered over these past several months, they've been developing highly dangerous war weapons.
War weapons?
What kind of weapons have they been developing?
They've been developing some sort of biologically engineered life forms, and it is said that they are both super powerful and violently aggressive.
Huh. I see.
Yeah, from the sound of all of that, it sounds like a very dire cause that if not dealt with, could bring us all sorts of chaos.
And you would be right there, Ted.
Well, alright then, we now know the situation. But how does all of this involve me exactly?
Right, I was getting to that. You see, things between me and the senators, to put it lightly, we aren't on equal footing when it comes to our viewpoints on if we want to keep segregating us and the Lantivs or to live peacefully with them. I could just send out a squad of superior lease officers out to investigate and shut down their whole weapon developing operation. But then they'll quickly realize that it was me that sent them, and I sure as hell don't want to be held responsible as that one president to further split the nation that can potentially lead us to a bloody civil war.
Yeah, and especially in times such as this where stress and paranoia is the only air that everybody now breathes.
Glad to see that you and I are eye to eye with one another.
Okay, but I still don't get this. Why are you telling me all of this?
Hello? Did you forget that it was you who laid a throwdown on Mecha Vengeance, and without a battle suit no less? The way you fought during combat, it was unbelievable. It took my breath away that an O'Sha-Tar could fight like that.
Yeah, and I had the Earth Gems and Roy to thank for giving me the power I needed to defeat him.
Earth Gems? That explains so much now. You transformed into the legendary Super O'Sha-Tar.
I was only able to go full super when Roy transferred me all his remaining power to achieve the complete transformation. Without his power, I was only able to achieve a false Super O'Sha-Tar form.
Reaching at least that level of power again can be arranged.
What do you mean by that?
You'll see. Ted can join in on the mission also, since he's already naturally gifted with powers.
Powers? Oh no. What are you saying? I don't know how to use my powers.
What? You don't know how to use your powers?
Yeah, I've never used my powers.
You figured that somebody who's crossed would know how to use his powers in case you get your true heritage revealed to someone who'll rat you out. Never, and not even once, have you ever had the need to tap into that reserved strength of yours to save yourself or your friends from danger.
You make a valid point there. Like, several months back, whenever Mecha Vengeance would attack us, I would often just either stand there on the sidelines, or just result as collateral damage from me not sticking up for myself, or my friends.
Ted, buddy.
Or that time when one of Roy's band buddies found me, and held all of us at gunpoint due to my incompetence. If my useless ass actually knew how to use my powers, then...
No, Ted, stop right there. None of that was your fault. Don't pin the blame on yourself for any of that.
But, Joseph...
No buts. There wasn't a thing any of us could have done about any of that, not just you.
Yeah, but the thought of actually having the ability to do something about those scenarios and my inability of doing it, weighs down my heart like a ball and chain, Joseph. I've been nothing but a burden, pure and simple.
Thanks a lot for your wise words of encouragement to my friend there.
What? How is this my fault?
You made him cry, you bitch.
Well, sometimes the truth hurts.
You too, knock it off this instant. I will not put up with this nonsense. Emma, you apologize this instant.
I'm sorry, okay.
We don't need your half-hearted apology. Come on, Ted. Let's just go home. The last thing that I want to do is to work with someone who's as rude and selfish as she is.
No, wait, Joseph, don't go.
Save it, Sadie. I was close to agreeing to help you, but then your shameless daughter butted in and blew it. Nobody hurts my best friend's feelings, and there's no way that I'm gonna put Ted in harm's way again.
Please, Joseph, I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for my father.